Hello. 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 Let me just mute my phone. Finish chewing. That's my lunch that I'm just finishing. And then take a sip. And I'll be right with you. Sorry. I was hoping to be done a little bit earlier. But it is what it is. Hi. Audio works. Hello, my name is Alex from BoardGameCo, and this is your weekly live, sort of. I almost missed this week again, but I missed last week, and I'm going to have to miss next week because I'm at WSBG. Although there is the possibility of a chaos stream. There is a light possibility of a chaos stream next week. But don't count on it, just in case. Anyways, I am late because, well, not actually late, I'm actually on time, but, we're going to go ahead and start this off over here. We have Dwarf Furious. 10 a.m. is when I work, Alex. That's not fair. 10 a.m. is also when I do this. Well, I do it 1 p.m., but Eastern Standard Time. I do this 1 p.m. every single week, so I apologize. That's not fair. There's no fair option for everyone. So really, I should just jump around randomly when the streams are, and that would solve the problem. The only question is, when do we get to see Meg kick your in Heroes 3? After this call. After this live stream. Actually, more specifically, I have to end this at exactly 2 p.m., my time, not your time, because I have another call for GamePound. I have a call for GamePound, and then after that, I will be seeing who kicks who's in Heroes right after that. Successful. Happy Thursday. Successful. Did you get Andromeda's Edge? Yes. I did get Andromeda's Edge. I am probably not keeping it, though. I like the game, but I don't love the game. I got it because I covered the game, so they sent me a copy out of appreciation, which I do appreciate. But right now, I'm in a weird place where even games I love are starting to stress me out a little bit, and that's not a good thing. I like to enjoy the hobby, and I'm being a little overwhelmed with saying yes to too many things that I'm interested in. So anything that's not majorly high up my list is simply not going to get tabled. I'm going to get rid of more and more games again and again and again. I'm trying to say yes to fewer games, although that's not working very well because I like trying things. I always like trying and finding new things. And then sometimes those things get played again, other times they don't. But it's a problem. It's a problem. A problem I'm dealing with, but Andromeda's Edge is not going to be high enough for me. It's a very well-received game. For me, I like it. I like it more than Dwellings of Eldervale. It still isn't my top tier in that genre. Brian, good afternoon, campers. Good afternoon, Brian. Priya, Wave? What's the wave? Is that like you're saying hi? BoardGameCo coming in a second. Mike, you're all awesome. Professor Meg, Chaos Stream. Meg, oh no, Chaos Stream. We'll see. We'll see. I make no promises because here's the practical reality. I love the idea of doing a chaos stream in general, always, next week, whenever. But then I'm also having too much fun times with my friends. And when I'm having fun times with my friends, sometimes in the moment, maybe we'll sit there and say, you know what could be fun also? A chaos stream. In which case, great, I'll do one. But if not, if it doesn't happen in the moment properly, then I'll just be spending too much time having a good time with my friends because I need a good time right now. I have to, like I said, too many things happening and just games, all games, nothing else, just like they're all hitting at once, and I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed with it. If you are a member over on Ko-Fi or Patreon, you've probably seen this already. I put out a little thing just about how I'm currently a little overwhelmed. More so than I've been in a while, even more so than moving. Although I think moving didn't help in the sense that moving made it so that I started falling a bit behind. Fast forward to now, and I am feeling like I could have been ahead of these things, but I wasn't. Successful, nice. I'm not sure why I can't stop thinking of my Anne's End play, so I ended up buying it. Not being able to stop thinking of the game is a good reason to consider that game. Also, if the game's a few $100s, maybe a second play is good too. Ryan, Alex prefers to say yes to 3.5s? No. Alex prefers the exploration of new things. Alex loves the potential that every single unplayed game has, because many of those unplayed games are marvelous and amazing, and I'm very much into the discovery of new things. It's why my favorite game mechanic is the type that is variable. You pass me a game, I don't want to know how I can become an expert at it. I want to know how the game plays differently every time. The reason I love Vindication, Cthulhu Death May Die, Terraforming Mars, all these games, they're all games that they mix up the gameplay experience. When you play Too Many Bones, you're never playing the same puzzle again. And so I like things that are variable. I like discovering new ways to approach things. And that means that the more static a game becomes, the less interested I am in it. And also, every new game is potential. I love potential. Whether potential executes on itself properly, that is an entirely different conversation, which I do say yes to a lot of 3.5s. Mike, enjoy some time with who and what you appreciate. Yep. Brian, Alex, do you play the final rules for ANN or just the prototype? Just the prototype. Now you're giving me FOMO. Are there drastic changes I should know about? It's built on the Dwellings of Eldervale Foundation, like, which to me was a good game. Andromeda's Edge made it better. I keep saying Anne's End. Why do I keep saying Anne's End? Andromeda's Edge, Andromeda's Edge, Andromeda's Edge. I've been saying Anne's End the whole time. No one's corrected me. Why has no one corrected me? That's the real question here. Andromeda's Edge, which I keep calling AE, Anne's End. But I'm not... I guess I'm intrigued by what the final rules would be, but not necessarily intrigued enough to want to like break the shrink and make the time to dive into it. So it's probably on my sell pile, but we'll see. Dunny, is there any game you enjoy similar to Mansions of Madness? Define similar. I did a Play This Not That together with Meg and Devin on Mansions of Madness versus Death May Die. I chose Death May Die. So did all of us for that matter. So Death May Die has a lot of similarities on a surface level, but very different mechanically speaking. I don't know if there's any games that are very app-driven the way Mansion Madness is that I enjoy a lot. The more integrated the app is, the less likely I am to find the experience compelling. The closest is probably Destinies. Destinies is probably the game I enjoy the most that is that app-driven. Syndeka. Will you have any coverage of Rebel Moon Syndicate by Arcus Games? Never heard of it, so no. Oh, wait, Rebel Moon Syndicate. Is Arcus Games the same people who did Satori? If it's Satori people, then I think so. Like, it's an SN title, right? Mike, Chaos, are you going to say when the stream is and then start on time to say how chaotic with some cliche reason and we find out you were 2 9 seconds late? No? I mean, if the chaos stream happens, it'll happen and it'll happen. If you show up, you show up. If you don't, you don't. We'll figure it out. Pariah, Cthulhu May Die, Dunny. Yes, Cthulhu May Die is a banger. Yep, have it. Okay, Brian, improved on the prototype from what I understand. Play with Tim Chun, he may have a copy. I will happily play any game with Tim Chun anytime. Successful. I liked Dwellings of Eldervale a lot. Andromeda's Edge to me improved on it, and the solo mode seems really fun. I didn't look at it before my first play over the weekend, and I've walked through more turns on TTS and love it. I'm not averse to playing it. I remember enjoying it. Oh, Meg, you played it too. You played Andromeda's Edge too. I enjoyed the game. I'm not averse to it. The issue is just that unless my heart's a pounding about the idea of a game, whether it's a game I own or a new game, unless I'm like really excited for it, I shouldn't be spending time in it because there's so many things to be really excited for, and I'm just not excited about Andromeda's Edge. It's not that it's a bad game. I very much enjoyed my play. I think I give it a 4 out of 5, and I would stand by that rating. But in that genre, in the genre of area control, in the genre of powers and abilities, and that kind of game system, I have 4.5s and 5s, and I'm not playing the ones I already love as much as I would like. So that's the issue there. Sebastian. Hello, Alex. Hi, Alex. So weird. Actually catching you live for once. 1910 here in Sweden. We are moving. How soon? I'm wondering if you have any tips for moving 200 games. I mean, 200 games is roughly how many boxes is that? If you assume, let's say, a standard size, not too super large box, you can probably get like 8 games in, so that's 25 boxes. So you can probably get 25 boxes of games. I mean, honestly, just box them up. I don't have an easy answer for you. I've moved with 600 games or so. My collection is 300, but at any given point, I have review copies, copies coming in, copies going out. I don't know the full count, but somewhere around 600 or so. And I moved a few blocks. That makes it a lot easier. If you move, I don't know, countries, it's going to be a lot harder. You have to pack with precision. I packed games up in boxes, but like I didn't worry about like transport or bouncing around because I was moving a few blocks. If you are moving further, you want to be more careful, but ultimately it just comes down to packing games up as nicely as possible. I don't think there's any magic sauce to this. I wish there was. Professor Meg, Divinity is close and Terrascape is similar, but PvP. Okay. Professor Meg, I had a unique experience with Andromeda's Edge. Oh, I know. I didn't say what your experience was. I just said you played it. Successful. We can schedule some TTS time. I think I have some solid teach that I need to test too. Successful, but here's the thing. I don't think I'd play it on TTS. So I'm willing to play almost anything in person with people I like. Playing a game on TTS is not my idea of a fun experience. I do it because there's a good, compelling reason to do so. I don't know if I'd make time for a game like Andromeda's Edge on TTS. I don't think I would. At a convention, I'll play it with you. In person, I will. Prior, I can't wait for the sort of speakeasy campaign game. I don't have strong opinions there. I love games, okay? There's games I love, but this is just like, even today, I found out, so the Game Found Feast, okay? The Game Found Feast is going to be going up. I think this is public information. too late now. The GameFound Feast is going to be going up October 2nd. That's the next Feast event. For those who don't know, the GameFound Feast is a press event where we basically announce the various titles coming to GameFound. And I just finished an interview today with a specific publisher about a game that I am very excited about. There's actually several games. Oh my gosh, there's several. There are several games coming up in the GameFound Feast event that I'm incredibly excited for. There's games even on Kickstarter. It's not a GameFound thing. There's games on Kickstarter I'm incredibly excited for. But Lacerda's just not in that category, and Andromeda's just not in that category. We just have to find the right ones that excite me. Even Rayman. Rayman excites me more. I don't know why. I never played the Rayman video game, but for whatever reason, Rayman excites me for some strange reason that I can't really pinpoint down. Ryan, this year has been a hard year to get excited about new games. Cyberpunk's one of the very few standouts. I don't know if that's totally true. I have many games I've been excited about, but not necessarily a ton. I mean, we're currently hitting, what are we hitting? What's the month right now? It's September. I think I've given out a few 5 out of 5s, but some of them were kind of cheating, meaning something like Primal. Primal I gave a 5 out of 5 years ago, but even so, let's count, my 5 out of 5s were Primal, Spectacular, Things and Rings, Cyberpunk is 5 out of 5 adjacent. I do think it deserves a 5 out of 5, but I really need more time with it because it's real time and because I know that genre has faded for me. I need more time with it. But why do I feel there's something else recently that I wanted to give a 5 out of 5 to? Meg gave a 5 out of 5 to Far Away. What else should get a 5 out of 5? I feel I played something else recently, but I don't remember what it was. But there are other games I'm excited about. There's a lot of games. There's a lot of great games. It's just a question of which ones. ACS, I'm looking to get a friend Zombicide Black Plague because he has none. Which expansion we suggest to start with, and which are your favorite? Zombicide Black Plague, I always say start with, well, there's 3 things. The order's a little harder. The Deadeye Walkers, the Wolfsburg, and then an Abomination pack. That combination of things will give you an assortment of new heroes, it'll give you new abominations, it'll give you 2 new zombie types, and you're good to go. Honestly, those 3 things, an abomination pack, Wolfsburg, and Deadeye Walkers, will make your experience incredible in Zombicide Black Plague. But granted, that's 3 things. If I could only pick one, I'd probably pick Wolfsburg, because at least that will give you new heroes, and an abomination, and a new enemy type. So that will give you a bunch at once. Aster, hey Alex, big fan. Have you had a chance to play Aquatico Coral Reefs expansion? If you did, what do you think of it? I did play Aquatico Coral Reefs, but I haven't dove into it properly with all the modules. I played like 2 or 3 of the modules. I don't remember exactly. I thought it was a fine expansion, but not like a, oh my gosh, you have to have an expansion, versus I think the first expansion, Cold Waters, I believe, very much is a essential addition to the game. Around the Stump Games, no, BoardGameCo. Any information on Revenant from Mind Clash? I don't know what they've said, so I don't know what I'm willing to say. That's the problem. I do know a little bit about Revenant. I just don't know what's been said publicly. The box looks very cool. I'll say that. The box looks very, very cool. Around the Stump Games, in your opinion, which acts as a large impact on your enjoyment of a game? Length of the game, less time equals better experience, or pace of the game, decisions per minute? Pace of the game. Pace of the game for sure. I can play a 4-hour game that feels like it should be a 4-hour game, and I can play a 20-minute game that feels like it should be a 20-minute game. But playing a 30-minute game that feels like it should have been a 10-minute game, that's already painful. So it's really about pace of the game. Successful, totally fair. The in-person is way better anyway. Yeah, I'd play games I want to play more on TTS, just not a game that I'm already uncertain about. Matthew Cole, have you played Isofaring Guard? The update pack just hit. I have played Isofaring Guard, although I don't know when I'm diving into it again. I like the game a lot. I'm in the middle of trying to do a campaign game purge again, and I've only found like 5 that I'm willing to get rid of. I'm trying to get that number higher, because the problem is I like campaign games. Not all campaign games. I like certain campaign games, and there's many games in my collection that I really want to dive into fully, but I'm like, I don't know when it's happening. I just don't know when it's happening, so I have to do I keep holding on to a game forever? Isofaring Guard, by the way, is totally safe. There's like 17 other games I'd get rid of it before it. But the question is, when will I dive back into it? Brian, I noticed Revenant went Kickstarter instead of GameFound. Yes, Brian, they did. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to think. Again, this is where I don't know what I'm allowed to say or not allowed to say. I'll say this. I'll try to be vague. I definitely met with them about Revenant on Kickstarter versus GameFound. They are definitely fans of GameFound, and they plan on using GameFound in the future. There are specific reasons why they chose Kickstarter for Revenant. Those reasons I don't mind sharing, but I don't know if they mind me sharing, so I won't. But we are big fans of Mind Clash in general. I'm a fan of Mind Clash personally, whether or not they use GameFound. But yes, they did go with GameFound instead of Kickstarter. Sorry, Kickstarter instead of GameFound. Successful. What I actually heard you say is you don't want to spend time with me. Yeah, but then I said, if you do it in person, we'll play it. So if you heard the first thing, that's on you. Considering how many games I played with you at Dice Tower East, I'm very bad at avoiding people if I don't want to spend time with you. And I'm not very bad at avoiding people. Spoilers to that. Professor Meg, I'm almost angry I haven't played 10 yet. It showed up yesterday, Meg. It showed up yesterday. Okay? I'm still trying to get Austin to come down and play it with us. Ryan, you want to give a 5 to Ironwood? That depends. My first play of Ironwood had me instinctively wanting to give it a 5. As I played it more, I was like, no, it's not a 5, it's a 4.5. A big distinction for a 4.5 versus a 5 is a 5 is a game that, like, in every context, in every situation, I'm excited to be able to play it. Now, granted, you know, if something fell on my leg and broke it, maybe not that moment. Like, I don't mean every context, but I mean, like, 5s are like, yes, 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 a million times yes. And 4.5s have that drop lower. They're like, no, I want to play it, but, like, I like it a lot. It's very, very good, but not always. Maybe I'll sit there and say Cthulhu Left May Die over this. And granted, you could always do it with any game, but I'm saying hopefully that drives home. Multiple plays brought it down to a 4.5 for me. It's not bad. 4.5 is great, but not a 5. Ash, will you say your best board games of 2024 so far? I think I just did. Did you just pop into stream, or am I answering this 3 minutes too late? My 5 out of 5 is going to be Primal, Things and Rings, and Spectacular. I feel like there's another one coming, but I can't. I just recently. Oh, and then I guess technically DC United. DC United got a 5 out of 5, but again, it's another version of an existing system. What else is there? I really feel like there was a game that I played that I was like, this is going to be my next 5 out of 5. But I don't remember what it is right now. And I'm not sure if I'm wrong. I might just be wrong. Mike, Mystic Vale expansion, can you make this happen? No. I don't like Mystic Vale enough to try to use any sphere of influence that I possibly have. John D. Clear would be the person in question. I like him. I'm friends with him. I'm not going to try to use any influence. Not that I could want the expansion. I don't think I can make it happen. But yeah. Pariah, press a mag, get a table. I'm sure you can spare some time. There is no time to be spared. Andreas, did you check out Valheim? Have you played it on PC? I have not played Valheim on PC. We do have a prototype here, and Meg and I will be diving into it. Solomon, hey Alex, bought Primal based on your videos and general reviews, feeling excited but also much poorer. Please say something to help me feel better about it. You can sell a kidney? I don't. I mean, it's a good game, but if you're feeling much poorer, you can sell most of the game. Try to sell the miniatures. Just use one single monster and just keep everything else the same. I saw someone doing that. I don't know how successful they were. They kept one single miniature and they're like, this will always be the monster. Why? Because the rest is cards and a board. I don't need to swap up the miniatures every single time. I do. They didn't. You are furious. Listening from work was my Heroes of Might and Magic 3 question answered at the start. Yes, I said we don't know who's kicking whose butt at the moment. Andreas, would love to see a Heroes of Might and Magic playthrough with you too. Agreed. I wish granted. That's going to be happening in around 2 hours. I don't actually have a watch. I just feel that's a thing you do. James Sullivan. Hey, all just listening in while I finish painting my Dead-Eye Walkers. Yeah, they are great. Need some colors. Need some color. Yeah, I mean, Dead-Eye Walkers are amazing. Ryan, hello James. Smooth. Hey Alex, excited to have been able to grab a copy of Primal after just missing the Kickstarter campaign back in the day. Looking forward to it arriving in the next few months. Yeah, if you don't know, Primal opened up the boutique web store. You can go to Primal, it's not Primal.com, but whatever it is, you can go to the Primal website and you can buy Primal again. You can do that now. Successful Geek, just going to say, Midara, successful. No, I can't. Whatever. Unemployed Lawyer. Spoilers, Adam is ranked higher than me in Alex's list of kids. Is that true? I think it's situationally yes, but that's mainly because I've had the chance to play games with Adam at Dice Tower East, and I played a lot of games with Adam at Dice Tower East. So George, you just need to get your butt to a convention so I can play games with you and we can have a conversation. Pariah, you both are in comparison to me, but then again, Adam and I are both older. Technically, Alex could be our kid. Nope, Pariah, you just played games with me too. This might just sound like I only like people if I play games with them. That's not entirely true. There is partial truth to the familiarity that is bred doing playing games together, but we could do anything. We could talk about sports, and I'd like you more, maybe. Professor Meg, Primal. Never mind, you said that one. I mean, Primal's high for me. I like Primal. Dwarf Fierce, you should find some time to play Valheim on Steam with community. What do you mean with community? Like with other people? Is that a thing you can do? I don't know enough about Valheim digitally. I know more about Valheim on the tabletop already. Brian, I'm trying to avoid Alex's Primal videos. I'm running out of shelf space and it's a big boy. Oh, Primal is safe. I think I've even converted Meg to be like in the, oh my gosh, okay. So we're playing Primal on and off camera. some of the reactions Meg has had off camera based on the turn she has, like, I don't know where she currently feels about the game, but, like, she was like, yeah, it's good, but I don't know, so I don't love it the way you do. She has, like, jumped for joy and cheered and had moments that are, it's a game. Primal's a game. Jason, I asked on Board Game Geek why they are on Kickstarter, not GameFound. Victor Peter said, for the sprawling project, lots of add-ons like GameFound, but the less expensive, more accessible, they like Kickstarter. That's one of the reasons. James, hello Brian. He also said PM will still be GameFound. Yes, I know. Joe Fierce, yes, you can host a dedicated server with password defending your Discord to play collectively. So I don't have enough. Oh, you know what I just bought? Okay, you know what I just bought. I was about to tell you all the time I don't have video games. I think I said this before on stream, but I'll say it again. Right now, my video game time is every single day from 4 o'clock till 4:45, roughly. Maybe it's 5 o'clock to 5:45, maybe it's 4 o'clock to 4:30. It's a rough, like, 30 to 45 minutes of playing games with my afternoon coffee, whenever that is. I don't know if I'm going to do it today because I'm just so behind while I try to prep for WSBG, but maybe it'll happen today. We'll see. I try to make it happen every day because it's really the only time I have every day that is completely stress-free from anything and everything else. It's coffee, a video game, no pressure, nothing else, no responsibilities. It's the me time of the day. I love board games, but board games is wrapped up into my hobby and, well, my business, effectively, my job. And so I've been playing through Spider-Man, the original one, because I never finished it. The first time I played Spider-Man, I never finished it. I got to, like, 93%. And then never finished it. And so now I started from the beginning. I've been playing through it. I'm currently at like 91%, so I'm right behind where I was last time. I'm going to go through it. I'm going to finish it. And then I'm going to move on to the next game. And do you know what the next game I bought is? I just bought, because it's on sale right now for like, I think $10, maybe $12. I bought Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 Remastered, because holy hell do I have memories of that game. And I was like, you know what? That's going to be my next game. Because I want to go through the Batman Arkham Asylum line of games, start from the beginning and go through it, because I only played the first two. I want to go through the whole series. But I want to take a break because that's a little too similar to Spider-Man. I want to play through some Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Maybe finish Oni. I never finished Ori. Maybe finish Ori. I have like a list, but like I want to take a dedicated game. I play other games here and there with my kids. Like I'll play video games with them, but this is me time. This is like me playing games for myself. And I got Tony Hawk Pro Skater. So Valheim's not going to happen right now. Tony Hawk Pro Skater, that's going to happen. Professor Meg, 4 for me probably. It would be a 4.5 if it was colorful and not so black and white. I hear you. I do love the art style on Primal. Also, Meg, you can rate the game whatever you want, and I will not deny your experience. I will say the amount of games that have had you jumping for joy as a result of the gameplay, it's a small list. And Primal's on that list. Nothing is better than Professor Meg's reaction to Barcadia. Oh, that was fun. Alex, you aren't helping. I don't need Primal. I must stay strong. Don't get it. Don't get it. Professor Meg, I get it. That me espresso. Is that whole time Sabrina Carpenter's talking about self-care? I do find that my life should be guided by the queen that is Sabrina Carpenter. Like, everything she does is basically how I'm going to live my life, I think. Will you be playing Terraforming Mars at WSBG? No, I will not. I will be playing Castles of Burgundy, and I can't remember which ones were which days. There's a reason I didn't do Terraforming Mars. I think a different game was the same day. Also, it's just like a long game. Like, do you know, WSBG last year, they had a 3-hour-long game of Cascadia. I am not here for that kind of garbage. My hope is that I either win, which I could see happening with Castles of Burgundy, but I don't think it'll happen. But I am good at Castles of Burgundy. I may still flunk out after the first round because I'm playing against a lot of people who are good at Castles of Burgundy. But I hope I either flunk out at the end of the first game. For all of these games, I'm playing with, I think, 3 games, maybe 4. And I hope I flunk out or make my way to the finish line. At the finish line even of a single game. Like, if I get the ring for a single game, that was worth it. If I get second place for a single game, I would have rather just flunked out and spent more time doing things. ACS, Ori's such a good game. Ori's a great game. I've played through the first one. I started the first one once upon a time, and I've been going through it again. I'm not playing it with my daughter, but my daughter's playing her game, I'm playing mine, and we're both going through it simultaneous adjacent. And we have the new one, which we haven't actually played. I own it, but I haven't played it, but I want to go through that as well. Unemployed Lawyer, who makes better music, Alex? Sabrina Carpenter, Chaperone, or that other third musician with Brat? I don't know who the other third musician with Brat is. I think Sabrina Carpenter's songs I prefer a drop more than Chaperone. Ironically, I think my favorite from the combination is there's a version of one of the songs, that Sabrina Carpenter sings a Chappell Roan song that is actually my favorite from all of them. I think that's my favorite version. Sabrina Carpenter singing a Chappell Roan song. But neither of them are my favorite artists. They are both people who I appreciate and who currently, if you say, Alexa, play music, don't. Alexa, stop. Alexa, stop. If you say that, guaranteed, those are both going to be on the playlist because they're currently very, 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 very popular. Hi Alex, how many games do you have in your collection? So it depends how you count it. I have roughly 300 games in my collection. I have roughly 30 to 40 games in my kids' collection. Kids' collection just means they aren't games I would keep for myself, they're games I keep for my kids. Versus my collection are games I keep because I want them. And then at any given point, I have 150 to 200 games in my unplayed games of games that are cycling in from either games I bought that I haven't played or games that were sent to me to review that I haven't played. But unplayed games I don't count as my collection because they're rotating so often. So that's my answer there. Around 500 games-ish at any given point once you count it all. But my games are 300. The games I've played and I've decided I like and want to hold on to, around 300. Primal's fantastic. Everyone needs it. I agree. Everyone needs it. This is a human essential need. Professor Meg, I'm hoping my dice skills will help me with in-person Casa Burgundy versus BGA. Professor Meg, I don't think I knew this about you. Do your dice skills not translate to BGA? Is that how that works? I always assumed the reason it didn't help you in Casa Burgundy is because you roll high, not what you need. So if you roll high, that doesn't necessarily help you in Casa Burgundy. Casa Burgundy is what you need. Unless you're telling me it's the other way around. Maybe you do roll what you need. I don't know. Girl Miss Meeple. Alex, are you better at, Alex, you are a master of the hard cull. I'm trying to get better at creating my collection, but culling is hard. Tips and tricks, especially when the collection is for the full family. Oh, the full family part I can't help you with as much. The only thing I can say there is part of the reason I separately categorize the kids' collection is because I'm not deciding whether I want it, they're deciding whether they're playing it. It's kind of a different conversation. So like I just kind of leave it alone. Your games, not my headspace. You want to play it, you want to play it. Hasn't been played in 4 years, I'll ask you if you want to keep it. We'll see what happens. So it's just a different mental headspace. For my collection, the first thing I would say, the thing that will give you the greatest ease of being able to get rid of games, is a combination of two things. When you are getting rid of a game that you're having a hard time letting go, put it onto a list. Could be in Excel, could be in your email, wherever you keep lists. Put the game onto a list, and that way, you already know, before you get rid of it, you already know this is a game you can get back. Why? Because it's on a piece of paper somewhere of games that you like. And you can always get it back. You can trade for it, you can buy it, you can always get it back. But before you even get rid of it, take it out of your collection shelf and put it somewhere else. Wherever that somewhere else might be. It might be a different room, it might be a different shelf, it might be anywhere else, but it's not in your collection. And leave it on that shelf for like a month, maybe 2, maybe 3, however long you need to feel comfortable. But think of the game as being no longer in your collection and see if you ever go back for it. Meaning, sure, it's on the shelf behind me, but like, this game is my collection. I take the game off the shelf, I put it in a different room, and then I see over the next X amount of time, when do I even think or care about that game next? And if I don't, usually the process of leaving it in your house, but removing it from your collection, there's a mental separation where you haven't actually let go, but you're mentally relinquishing it, but there's no fear of like, what if? Because you can just put it back on your shelf. If you have second thoughts, just put it back on your shelf. It's not a big deal. It's like, it's all safe. It's all good. Literally try that. I find it can be very, very helpful for getting rid of games you don't want to get rid of. Because they're gone, they're just not gone. And the more time goes on, the more you're like, you know what, honestly, as much as I love it, I can let it go. And then you still have that second list where it's on a piece of paper, because then you can get back. Brian, I may be training to beat Alex at Casa Burgundy, though it is... Wait, Brian, are you at WSBG? Brian, are you at WSBG? Did I not know this? Training Jenna. I may be training Jenna. Oh. I was so excited for a second. You see, if I play games with you, I like you. Yes, have you played any Metroid games before? Ori is for sure inspired by Metroid. So, I know the general genre of Metroidvania. I've never understood what they are specifically. I mean, a platformer, I guess. I've never played a Metroid game, I guess. I've heard the term Metroidvania. I guess I didn't realize that it was based on a style of game. Based on a specific game type. I just thought it was like a platformer, a Metroidvania game. Jacob Justice, a game on Kickstarter says it's tableau building and engine building. I always assume they do the same mechanic. What's the difference? Ooh, tableau building and engine building. I don't know the difference. I don't know. Let me try to think if I can answer this. Tableau building and engine building, I think, do have a strong overlap. But I guess what is the difference? Is a tableau literally about the stuff that goes in front of you versus an engine building that's not necessarily? Yeah, I do. I hear your question. It's a good question. It's a good question. I would mentally put them in the same category. But here's why I can give you a distinction. Area control and dudes on a map have a high overlap, but they aren't the same thing. El Grande is area control. Actually, El Grande is tricky. El Grande could be argued as dudes on a map. But Gingopolis is certainly not dudes on a map, but it absolutely is area control. Dude, are there dudes on a map games that are not area control? That's an interesting question. Are there dudes in a map game that are not area control? Cicletti is area control. Rurik is area control. Inish is area control. Interesting. Ankh has area control. Now I'm curious. Can anyone tell me down below if there's a dudes in a map game that does not have area control? That I'm very intrigued by. But in the meantime, area control, there's only area control games that aren't dudes in a map. So I assume that engine building and tableau building are going to have a similar high overlap but distinction. I just don't know what the distinction is. It's a great question. Professor Meg, they do not translate to digital. No, I roll what I need. Remember the locks in CTG games. You're right. You are right. The locks in the CTG games. You are correct. Dunny, I know I'm behind, but the best Tony Hawk Pro Skater is Underground. I got the 1 and 2, whatever they have in the remaster bundle, because I could not play the originals. The graphics would melt me. But the new ones, the remastered ones, I'm going to do that. Also, I don't know if you guys saw, but Tony Hawk said something about how he's in some sort of partnership with Activision again to do something new. So apparently something new coming in the Tony Hawk universe. I don't even know if I'm going to like the games, but I got them in case it holds up. Girl Miss People, excellent tip, thank you. JB, just curious to know your thoughts on Hands Tonica. It's an excellent game that is so ridiculously bland looking that I'm never excited to play it. But it's a great game. Every time I play it, I think it's great. I just am never excited to play Hands Tonica. It's a hard one for me. Call me for an answer. Okay. We're calling Meg for the answer between engine building and dudes on a map. Meg, I'm going to put you on speaker. And we'll see if you can tell everyone else. Brian T, no WCG. I did get my level up ticket though. I'll be there for that. I'm glad. Good to see you there. Well, hope to see you there. What's the difference between engine building and area control? You're on speaker.
So, not area control, because I don't think that was the question.
Nope. Engine building and tableau building. Yep.
Yes. So, tableau building, I believe everything is in front of you on the table. Engine building is you, doing certain things that will all work together for your engine, but not necessarily on the table. So an example would be Ascension and working toward all of the Mechana cards and having constructs in play in your tableau, but you're depending on cards that come out in your engine to have it all work with synergy.
So I started touching upon that as an answer. The thing I'm having a hard time with is, can you tell me a single engine building game that is not also a tableau building or vice versa?
I just said Ascension.
But you said you have cards in your tableau.
You don't have to. You can, but it's not. I think that I would say the engine building in Ascension, where you can chain with the different abilities and how you deck build, I would say that is engine building. Okay, so I'm going to look up Ascension now and see if it's listed as... Oh, let's see. Let's check the professor.
Check the professor. Ascension, the deck building... Whoops, that's not working. Okay, Ascension, the deck building game. I want to see if it has one of those but not the other. Let's go to 3 more as far as mechanics. It's listed as neither, as far as engine building or area control.
Area control is never...
Sorry, not area control. Engine building or tableau building. Neither one's listed. It doesn't mean you're wrong, to be clear, but it's not listed.
Let's fight in the comments below.
Let's fight in the comments. I am curious if you can find something on BGG that was listed as one but not the other. Because I hear you on what you're saying, but I think that when does the engine... I don't know, I think that
I would think an engine can be in your deck.
So
but not necessarily static on the table.
Are all deck building games engine building games?
That's what I'm saying. I think they are. They just don't know it.
They just don't know it.
It just hasn't come out yet.
I don't disagree with you in theory. Inherently, I think deck building would be a subgenre of engine building. I don't disagree with you, but it's a subgenre. So I guess, I'm curious. BGG does not list engine building as a mechanic according to successful, so you couldn't possibly win according to that standard.
I have a few pizzas I gotta deliver, so I gotta go.
It sounds good. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Tableau is an order. Engine building is an action. Kenneth, I like medium-sized banker boxes for packing up games. Oh, we're Kenneth. You're way behind. You're way behind, Kenneth. The feature: Tableau building, engine building can exist separate from each other. I wouldn't say Arc Nova is an engine building game, but it is Tableau. Is it not engine building? How is it not engine building? This is what I am having a hard time with it. Often deck building games are building engines. I agree with that. Jacob Justice, just to clarify, Tamarian game found with the game claiming engine building Mary was the game claiming engine building and tableau building. I mean, if they're overlapping, they may well have both. That's the tricky part. A game can be area control and dudes on a map and say both. Dunny, have you got to play Luthier? Any thoughts? Luthier is excellent, but it did not... I gave it a 4 out of 5. I think it's a very good game. I could see it being higher for others. For me, it was very rewarding, but it didn't scratch that itch in my brain that goes, ooh, this is the best game ever. It was very, very good. I liked it a lot. Zero Cool, Wingspan. I guess Wingspan is tableau building and engine building, in my opinion. Successful. BG does not list engine building mechanic. Unemployed. MTG is not an engine building game. ACS. So Metroidvania games tend to have map exploration that have areas that can be locked unless you have a certain ability. Usually Metroidvanias require a lot of backtracking, which definitely already has that for sure. Successful. I feel like engine building is more about the combos and what feeds into each other. Tableau is just the stuff on a table. But again, I mean, I hear you on the distinctions. I just think I'm trying to figure out the game that is deck building. Sorry, I keep messing this up. I'm trying to find the game that is engine building but not tableau, or tableau building but not engine. And granted, someone suggested Arc Nova. I think it's both for me. I don't know, based on my own definition, but BG's not going to help us, unfortunately. I think Dominion is engine building, Dominion is deck building, and deck building is engine building, but I think that's a subgenre, so I wouldn't call a deck builder an engine builder. Even though I think they are the same thing, I just don't think I'd call it the same thing. Have you played Lord of the Rings Duel for Middle-earth? Not yet, but I do want to because I love Lord of the Rings Duel. Around the Stump Games, you are given an engine from the start, so you don't have to build one. I don't know. That feels semantics. That feels like semantics. Are we talking about Arc Nova, or are we talking about a deck builder? Meaning, if you don't develop your engine, sure. But if you improve upon your engine, you're building an engine. I think it'd be very semantics to say, well, you started with an engine, so it's engine development, not engine building. I think that'd be semantical. And in Arc Nova, you definitely develop your engine. Is Aquatica engine building? It's definitely got a tableau. I think it's building an engine. Interesting. No. This is interesting. Here's what's interesting. Aquatica is a fascinating choice. No, but Aquatica, I think, is a tableau game. I don't know if it's an engine builder based on my own perception, which BGG will not help. And I'll tell you why. In Aquatica, the things you do that quote-unquote build your engine are constantly being torn down. Meaning you get a card, and that card will help you. The card goes in tableau, and that card will help you. But to use it, you have to deconstruct it. The cards are meant to go away. So it's a... Oh, Meg. Okay, Meg's calling. So I don't know. Go ahead. You're on speaker.
Alright, I found an article.
Okay.
And I'm going to shout out rolltoreview.com if anyone wants to go find it. But they have an article that says, what is an engine building game? And then goes into these subgenres of what engine building can be, such as tableau building, deck building, bag building, and dice building. So technically, all of those are different types of engines, like Mazda, Ford, Honda.
So, in other words, when we all agree that deck building is a form of engine building, we're now saying that tableau building is a form of engine building.
Yeah.
I buy that.
This article kind of says engine building is when you have things that do whatever, and the different mechanics you can have that in games are tableau building, deck building, bag building, and dice building.
I buy that.
I really like it. I'm into it.
I'm fine with it. I mean, I'm curious if this... Yeah, I do feel it, but I mean, I'm going on a little spiel about Aquatica at the moment, so I'm going to go back to that.
All right, bye.
Bye. Yeah, Aquatica is interesting because when you deconstruct your engine as you go, if it's a temporary engine, I'm more curious about that. So, for example, Citizens of the Spark, which is a review that will come up today, is definitely a tableau building game. I would hesitate to call it an engine builder, but it definitely has... Now I'm curious, if you deconstruct your engine in order to get the things from your tableau, does that count as engine building? And I could hear the argument either way. 7-1 is tableau, not engine? No, definitely not. At the very least, you have the yellow cards, at the very least. That's definitely going to be engine building. Ryan, Alex, for yourself a shame, do you consider expansions part of the shelf? Just the base game, just the base game. If I have 7,000 unplayed expansions, the game counts as a played game. I have made an effort to play my expansions from all-ins and am pleasantly surprised. And now you know why I never get to the Vindication expansions. Until Jenna shows up, and then the different story. JB, what's your favorite version of Clank? None of them. I don't mind Clank, but none of them are like, oh my gosh, do I love them. They're fine games. I should like them more. On paper, I should like Clank more. But for whatever reason, I'm just fine with it. Reese McCarthy, love that Mad card. Yep, Castle Burgundy is supposedly a tableau builder. But isn't it engine building too? Like, I mean, inherently, you got the science tiles in there. You got a whole bunch of stuff in there. Is Ra an engine builder? I'm trying to remember what's in Ra. I don't think so. Is that a tableau builder? But not an engine builder? Ra might have a tableau, but not an engine. Do any of the tiles give you abilities? I mean, they technically could swap in the gods. Ra might be a tableau builder. But would you call Ra a tableau builder? Because you have things in front of you, you're collecting things. Would you call Ra a tableau builder? See, I'm hearing you that Ra's probably not an engine builder. I'm not confident as a tableau builder either. But maybe. Dude, Johnny, Alex, I'm too much on the fence with Cyberpunk. The maze look awesome, but it's mostly just that. The gameplay aside just enticed me, but I'm feeling bad, strong FOMO, help. Duke, there are a million games at any given point calling for your time, energy, money, and attentions. If you are not excited about a game, don't let everyone else get you excited. Arcs is a game no one can stop talking about, and I don't care. Could I go around and start trying to care? Absolutely. But I just don't. Is it a bad game? No. But for whatever reason, I'm not pulled in by it. And if I'm not pulled in by it, I will save my time, effort, and energy for all the games I am pulled in by, which is not Arcs. Nothing against Arcs. It could be the best game ever. But I'm just not pulled in by it. If you're not pulled in by Cyberpunk, if you're not compelled to get it, just don't. There'll always be another opportunity to get things in the future. Maybe not every single piece of bling, but you don't need every single piece of bling. You just think you need every single piece of bling. You don't need it for a game you don't care about. It's not worth it. Zero cool, very interesting. Duke Johnny, I'm super late. I had a lot of work. Now I'm confused again. Yes, I am not clear on whether, because Ra, I hear that I am interested in calling Ra a tableau builder, but I don't think it would be. Successful. What are you printing? Wait. What are you printing? I am printing Nice Towers, Wandering Towers. I am currently in middle of a articulated dragon. I got this 3D printer for to make board game stuff. I have made 2 board game inserts so far. I have mostly been making either components for the 3D printer itself. I just finished my top thingy, which is like, I don't know, collective 28, or is it 28 plus 50? No, 28 plus, am I doing the math wrong? 28 plus 32. It's like 54 hours of printing to make the top for the printer. So I did that. I made the poop chute for the printer. I'm starting to make, successfully, you might be interested in this. I'm starting to make my dry box storage solution for things. So basically making dry box to keep my filaments nice and dry and avoid any issues there. So I have been going through a whole bunch of stuff for the printer, and then I'm making trinkets and things for the kids so they can enjoy stuff. And I'm currently in the middle of making an articulated dragon for my daughter because she wants to run a contest for her friends, with the prize being an articulated dragon because they're super cool. So that's currently what's printing, and that should be done in around 12 minutes, which is coincidentally when I'm hopping off this to go hop on a call. So I'll be wrapping this up a little shy of 2 o'clock, so in like, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. Prior, I'm waiting for the unemployed lawyer to teach me Arcs. Prior, remind me to send you the files for the White Castle insert BoardGameCo. I don't... Oh, because Meg has the White Castle. That's fair. I need to print a bunch of my answers first before I get to Meg's, but I'll happily print Meg's eventually. Reese, video game board game crossover. I am over FOMO while still waiting for Stellaris the board game. There's a lot of video board game stuff happening. In fact, I'll do a mini spoiler and say that one of the games, there's 2 games in particular that I'm very excited about on the upcoming GameFound Feast. I'd say most of them I'm somewhat excited about, but there's 2 in particular that I'm very excited about. One of them is a completely new game that has a loose basing on a video game property, but it's not a video game property. It just has a loosely inspired by some video game property, and from a publisher who I like, and I am very excited for their game. Very excited for that one. And then the other one is a video game IP of a game that I loved very much, and I'm still tempted to download and play again because it's a game I loved very, very, very much, and that's going to be another game that I'm very excited about in the upcoming GameFound Feast. So yeah, video game crossover. I never played Stellaris, so I don't care enough. Successful Geek. I have plastic cereal boxes for my rolls. Keep them dry. We'll send you pictures later. What are your thoughts on 10? So let's do one thing at a time. I'm using a Sterilite container, Sterilite thingy that will hold like 5 rolls at once, and then a little bar system and a little bit of a, because I'm using a dryer. So I have a dryer, I have a little bar system that holds the rolls, and a little desiccant box for the refillable, reusable desiccant that'll go underneath, plus the little hydrogeometer meter. So that's what I have for my thingy going on. I already have the Sterilite boxes, and I'm slowly printing the various bits and pieces to be able to do it all. I've had enough issues with the 3D printer. Again, we'll talk about it more later when I do a full 3D printer review. I love my Bamboo printer very, very much. I have had some issues I had to work through. I have found my way through those issues for the most part, even messing with different filaments and different adjustments for speed or temperature, plates, all those things. I am getting better at troubleshooting various issues, which is nice. But there were issues, but so much easier than my Ender ever was. But yeah, that's what I'm currently doing. Marble. No, the marble, I don't know. Like, I'm not sure anymore what the issue was. I am no longer confident what issues. The marble issue is gone. Like, I've been printing in marble with no issue at all. In fact, successful. You'll appreciate this, okay? So you know that this is just for successful. No one else is going to really appreciate this. But you know that I had concerns that the marble filament gave me issues, okay? Now, you know at the top of the riser, there's a thin, different color. So you do the whole riser, you work your way up to the top, and then you do a different riser. I did mine in black filament with a marble coating. Now imagine my terror as I sit down to do a 16-hour print, hoping that the last layer doesn't screw up because the marble doesn't want to work. I did do a few marble prints beforehand, but I was still panicking. I was like, okay, let me just start this 16-hour print and see how it goes. One of them did fail, unfortunately, by the way. One of my 16-hour prints for the riser, I didn't have proper bed adhesion. I know what I did wrong, whatever. It's a setting thingy. And it curved up a bit so they wouldn't lock together. So I had to print 5 pieces for the 4 pieces instead. What are your thoughts on Tend? It looks very pretty and I want to play it. JB, what board game deserves some 3D printing love to elevate the game even further? Terraforming Mars definitely does, but it got also upgraded packs. I did see some nice pieces for Paris the board game that I really liked. The only problem is some of the pieces are actual expansion pieces in a weird way that conflicts with the game. So I have to figure out what I want to do with that, but I am tempted by them. But there's lots of great games out there, and lots of great games that have great pieces. I don't know offhand what would benefit. I mean, Root has some great 3D printed accessories, like Root the board game. ACS, thoughts on Zombicide No Rest of the Wicked as an expansion to get for Black Plague? Big Dragon Miniature is pulling me in. I've had No Rest of the Wicked forever, and I've never played with it. So, I mean, the dragon's going to pull you in, but I think go for it if you want it, but not for your first expansion. Greg, have you had a chance to play with team decks or campaign decks in Marvel United Multiverse? If so, what are your thoughts? No, because Marvel United Multiverse showed up yesterday, and I will be unboxing it this afternoon. I don't know when the box is going to go up on the channel, but I'll be unboxing it this afternoon with my son. It's all sitting right here, and there's a lot of it. There's a lot of it. Duke Johnny, Reese McCarthy, you're right. Then again, some of those shared IPs are quite good. Deep Rock Galactic and the Elder Scrolls from CTG are my favorite. There's Mass Effect, which disappoints. I need to play Mass Effect, but now I'm less excited to do so. Smooth, are you going to sleeve your cards for Primal? I end up passing on ordering sleeves, sticking with the base game and Neophene Mat, one expansion. I have been sleeving my decks as I go. So I have the full-on sleeve deck for a sleeve box for Primal. I've been sleeving everything as I go through stuff, so half of my Primal is sleeved, half of it still isn't. But I'll be getting it to more and more. I'm currently going through the challenges, although we're halfway through the campaign that I was doing with Meg. I'm going through the campaign. We're fighting our level 2 monsters right now. You'll see a level 2 challenge or level 2 monster go up next week, maybe. And then there's gonna be more challenges coming from the team at Reggie Games, and I'm excited to play through those because those are challenging. And I really feel, if you didn't watch the Primal Challenge video, spoiler alert, we lost. I feel like we totally had it, and we just weren't being as optimal as we should have, partially because of on-camera playthrough. But I feel like we totally could have had that. Did you back Dead Cells the board game? No, Dead Cells the board game was doing a point in time, which is still existing, honestly, where I'm trying to be more selective about what I back. I wanted it. I absolutely wanted Dead Cells the board game. I hope I can get my hands on a copy, either buying one or reviewing one, meaning either a review copy or buying it, although buying it would only happen if the reviews start coming in very positively, because at the end of the day, as much as I can sometimes be telling you how I feel about the game so you can buy it, I also have to be mindful of how I spend my money, and I'll only buy things that I believe the hype has held up to. So, but I do want it. I do want the game. Can I send you my copy to review? Yes, of course. Successful. Do I need to finish your Karja video? That looked really hard. I don't know anyone who has beat it yet. You don't know anyone who has beat it? Okay, so here's the deal. If you watch the Karja video, I feel 100% we should have beaten the Karja video. 100%. Now I want to play it again. We screwed up. That's what happened. That's all that happened. We screwed up. Because if you watch the Karja video, at the end there's a point where Meg did something that we should have taken it back, but we wanted to be integral to the viewing experience, so we didn't. We should have taken back a move and we changed things. But we just weren't thinking. And then on my turn I did the exact same thing, and I also didn't revive her when I should have. I feel it was 100% in our control to win that battle, and we lost it. We made 3 bad decisions that we would have taken back in a non-filmed gameplay. But yeah, I am very curious. I am very curious. I don't think it was too hard. I think it was the right amount of hard. I think it was a challenge. Now, if you try doing Nightmare Mode, that's an entirely different conversation. Duke Johnny, one more question. Will there ever be another round of questions to us? You know the series we use Google Forms to share it with us? I really like it. Yeah, it's still happening. I skipped this past month because things were a little crazy, but the random question series is still happening. Greg Rammer, how do you handle friends and family struggling with fatigue over always playing new games? Which tried and true games do you go back to? So I don't push people into playing games. There are people who, so Meg and I will play new games because we do it for the channel. I have a friend you've seen on the channel, AP. He plays basically anything new because he just wants to play games. And then outside of that, I try not to overburden or over-fatigue people. I let them pick the games. Like, that, one of the best ways for me to play games that I know and love is my kids get to pick whatever games they want. My friends who come over who aren't like AP and Meg, they get to pick whatever games they want. If it's in my collection, you pick it. Oh, it's a game we've played before? Good. That's the only way I'll actually play them. So, not the only way, but it is one of the more relied upon ways. Pray Daily, watching from Nebraska. Thank you. Reese, a rogue like something like FTL seems like it would be a good board game version. I own FTL, and I haven't played it. Successful Geek. To be fair, I only watched Dice Tower and started yours. Dice Tower ran out of time. Rolling Solo seemed to do a harder mode, but I haven't started his yet. Yeah, so the Nightmare mode, I don't want to try. I'm not yet at that point. The running out of time could make sense. We got down to the wire. We could have. But the way the game's structured, you could run out of time. But no, I think we had it. I think we screwed up. Reese McCarthy, and Engine Builder. Pray Daily, looking to buy V-Sabotage Commando for multiplayer campaign. Do you recommend it? I love V-Sabotage. I prefer Assassin's Creed, same game system, but they're both fantastic games. Duke Johnny, nice. Have a lovely day, evening, everyone. 8 p.m. in Poland. Enjoy 8 p.m. in Poland right now. Says Geek, I'm curious what you would think, what AP would think of Andromeda's Edge. He and I played Dwellings of Eldervale together, and he was in a similar place to me. He was like, good, but not, oh my gosh, amazing. But I don't know about Andromeda's Edge. He didn't play that. Anyways, it's 1:57, which means I have a call in 3 minutes. So I'm going to thank all of you for being here today. I'm going to head off to my other call, and I'm going to go check out my Articulated Dragon and try to start another print before my call begins, if I have time. In any case, and as always, I'm Alex Radcliffe from BoardGameCo. I appreciate you being here. I will not see you next week unless it's a Chaos stream, but I will see you the week after that.